we have one project that has been sent to the executive board. The executive board gives a final approval for the CDM project. And this is waste to compost. And that is by Zoom Lion. Now the idea is that instead of putting the waste into a landfill, which will generate methane for it to be emitted, what we do is that we avoid the creation of the methane. And then whatever emission reductions are made, we can have what we call certified emission reduction certificates, which can be traded with. So that is the first project, which is with the executive board. But there are stages of working with the CDM. We have what we call the paint stage. That is the first stage, which is like screening. And then we go to the what we call the PED, which is actually developing the project document. At the moment, at the paint stage, we do have a number of projects that we are looking at in the area of energy, basically on the renewables, like solar, wind, etc., but mainly on solar, and then energy efficiencies. Now on forestry, we know that the Forestry Commission has had an approval of the methodology that they can use. That is a method accepted internationally for them to use on forest plantations for CDMs. Now, specifically on the oil and gas, somebody asked about the oil and gas. There is a little bit of difficulty there in terms of the what they call the additionality. In other words, are you actually having reduction? But I'm pleased to tell you that we have a company, we have work being done in that area. So a PIN has been approved and further work is being done. The information I have is at the project document stage. There are 3 tiers: the PIN stage, the document preparation stage, and then the final approval. In between, we have other processes. The information I have is that the oil and gas aspect, the flaring of gas, avoiding flaring of gas, is at the stage of project development stage. We do also have others in terms of the landfills, where we are avoiding emission of methane. So there are a number of, mainly the energy, forestry, and waste, as Rudolph said. So this is where we are at the moment. And finally, Africa, as I indicated, had not benefited very much from the CDM. But then there's a new dimension which is coming up, which we call the Program of Activities, which is the POAs. Now what this means is that you look at a whole area, instead of project, you look at a whole area of intervention and come up with a program that you can ask for approval. And our understanding, now maybe let me tell you this, our understanding is that when the CDM comes to perhaps an end at the end of 2012 for non-LDC countries like us, the program of activities, once they are approved, can be carried on. Let me give an example. If we take waste and what Zoom Lion has done, waste to compost. If, for example, it's approved for Acquah, and then you do it into a program like Kumasi, Tamale, Takoradi, and it's approved, even if the CDM comes to a closure for the EU ETS, you can still be eligible to have funds from the CDM. And so we are now trying to promote the use of the POA. And I'm pleased to tell you that Africa, when we went to Panama, Africa has about half of the approved projects under the POA. So I think tomorrow perhaps this can be good and we can discuss this further and see how we can involve people who might be interested. Sorry, I've taken more than 2 minutes.